From modern pop culture to subculture, light and space are commonly used to create engaging visual effects, with artists influenced both directly and indirectly by a specific art movement from the west coast of America. California, 1960. In contrast to abstract expressionism, whereby artists use paint on a canvas to create the impression of spontaneity, a group of artists began working with another medium: light. Using mostly natural lights, glass and resins, artists including Larry Bell, Robert Irwing and Helen Pashgian began showcasing their work in exhibitions across California. Their work focused primarily on perceptual phenomena.
Really, finally, contemporary art is not that obscure. It's a fairly simple idea. In some sense, it's simpler than your classical art because it's less of an abstraction, less of a learned logic, the way, say, verbalization is like learning another language. It's much more of an intuitive thing. It's something very natural in terms of your own physicalness in the world and can be related to on that level. Everyone has the capability of understanding it. It's just a question of whether or not you want to give it a give it a chance in a way. And since it already exists, and since it has existed as long as it has.
Helen Pashgian is another artist who contributed to the origins of the light and space movement and created her early work using glass and resins, materials which responded to their environment by pulling in light and recontextualizing the surrounding space. Whilst Mary Corse, an artist who remains closely affiliated with the movement today, creates art with microglass particles. These particles reflect light in different directions so that her art appears to change depending on the angle you observe it. There are some contemporary artists who recognise California light and space as an influence and who continue to create profound shifts in perception through their work. But the movement has often been attributed to a subcategory of minimalism, and therefore may be underrepresented. However, there are many contemporary artists and designers who manipulate light and space in interesting ways, and retain a similar fundamental theme to that of California light and space. That is, changing perceptions.
My name's Hamish Bigg, and I run Big Design, which focuses on transforming public spaces into inspiring places through 3D design, public artworks, and architectural lighting. I like the idea of doing something for the common good, something that everyone can see and enjoy. So I think public spaces are hugely important and do affect people's lives. Often spaces I work with are run down and depressing, but transforming them with art and design can make people's experience of using that little bit better. On the one hand, I'm trying to solve a puzzle, but I want to do that in a way that's beautiful and engaging and puts a smile on people's faces. I'm currently working on an underpass in Aberdeen that uses mirrored walls to make the space feel bigger and lets you see around the corner. So there's currently this horrible space, it's cramped, dark and oppressive, and it's got a blind bend in it, so you can't see if anyone's in the underpass before you enter it. So we're using mirror polished stainless steel panels to line the walls, which will allow you to clearly see into the underpass and see if it's safe. But I wanted to be more than a security feature and let people have fun with it. So the design has colourful flooring, which creates a kind of kaleidoscopic effect. And by having mirrors on both sides, it creates an infinity mirror, making this tiny space feel huge. And it should be really fun to play with your reflections as you walk through. My personal work allows me a bit more freedom. This last winter, I built an igloo for my toddler and included a James Turrell style sky space and lit the interior with colour changing LEDs. The effect was incredible, so you could lie back inside the igloo and looking at the sky through this circular aperture, the lighting changed colour and gave the illusion that the sky changed colour too, from blue to almost black and back again, which was quite mesmerising.
Use of light and space in contemporary art and design has developed significantly since the 1960s. Using these elements, we can recontextualise spaces and even remedy societal problems that we face today, all whilst engaging and mesmerising members of the public, and not just gallery visitors.